Welcome to part 2 of the skin we're in. To check out part 1 on my channel, click the link right here. So I want to talk more about your guys' careers in the gaming. So what was your guys' path to your current job, and what inspired you to get into gaming as a career?
I actually started off working at a tech telecommunications company. I was the internet help desk person that you call, like, oh, hey, my computer is messed up, I broke it. And, I fix people's computers over the phone.
Did you turn it off and on?
Yeah, exactly. But also I had a side hustle at the same time. I was covering entertainment and comics and, traveling to places like Comic-Con. I had gone to E3 one year, and I had always had a passion for video games. I grew up playing video games and always was interested in the process. And I was like, dang, I really want to do this. How do I find a way in here? I'm not a coder. I didn't go to school for game design or anything. And then my friends were like, just do it. They were like, after E3, go look at some job listings. And I did that, got a lot of no's, sometimes not a response at all. But I finally landed a job in games, and now I'm here at Riot.
I'm on the opposite end. My career path was a pretty straight path. I was like, even as a kid, I was like, I want to be a Ninja Turtle, Power Ranger, an astronaut, or a video game designer.
Yes.
And then went to college.
Why are we the same person?
I went to college. I got an engineering degree, got my first job in games a year later. And then the company I was at folded, and I had to spend a year unemployed looking for other game jobs, and then found an indie studio up in Seattle and was there for 5 years. Because it was such a small studio, we didn't have a designer, and I started doing design work, and I was like, man, this is way more fun. So I started looking for kind of design jobs, and Riot hit me up and was like, hey, we're looking for an engineer. And I was like, do you have any technical designer positions? And they were like, no. So halfway through my interviewing for an engineering position, they were like, actually, a technical designer position just opened up if you want to go for that. And I was like, yes, thankfully, thank God. And now I'm here, having a ball.
My path to get into gaming is also not traditional as well. I went to a liberal arts college. I studied political science, that's what my degree is in. And after college, I went into finance. But I've always been passionate about gaming. So a few years into my career in finance, I was like, I don't know if I'm passionate about this. And I utilized my network actually with the former coworker who had left the company to go to Riot. And I reached out and I was like, hey, are there any positions open that meet my certain skill set? And he was able to, to share me some jobs with me. And I applied through that process. And I've been here ever since. And I really, really, have enjoyed it.
Do the technical engineering gameplay needs of a character design come first, or does the aesthetic/lore come first, and how do they impact each other?
Our philosophy is that the players come first, so it's really on a case by case on what the needs are, the time needs and the character needs. So for someone like Senna, for example, a lot of it is driven by the fact that we want her to be an authentic Black character. So the technical stuff and the design has to reflect that. But then there are some other characters where it's driven by the gameplay needs. We need a marksman support or something like that. And from there, that character is built up, and their character's personality and characteristics are built up from a gameplay need. So it's very player driven as far as what does this character need to deliver for players? And then that is how we move the character creation forward.
Senna, she's been floating around since Lucian and Thresh had their feud in game with their voice taunts and stuff like that. Can you guys talk a little bit about the process of bringing her to life?
Internally, it took a lot of collaboration with various teams. From my understanding, the folks who were on the champ design team worked really closely together to make sure that they understood what they're trying to make to begin with. Right? Is that they were all coming from the same point of view versus folks who maybe weren't going to be open-minded, right? So they had to make sure that the team felt safe to delve into this character and really bring her to life. Post release though, and kind of the in between parts is like where we like Riot Noir got involved was really making sure that the right people were in the room to like, you know, to double check that their thesis was correct, right? To like make sure that the character like, you know, looked like that she looked right and that she felt authentic as well.
Can you guys discuss the importance of having Black actors voice Black characters, and has this always been a case at Riot?
I can't speak for Riot specifically, but personally, I feel like if Black characters are going to be in games, I personally would like them to be voiced by Black voice actors. I feel like work specifically for Black voice actors, it's very limited already in the industry. And the more opportunities we can provide for Black voice actors, I feel the better. And we're going to lead to more genuine and accurate representation.
It's just like, it's simple. Like, it's just like, hey, like if you want to make an authentic Black character, like the easiest way to do that is just to have a Black person voice them.
With music groups like True Damage, how is Riot looking to appeal to a diverse audience beyond the game itself?
Riot is looking from a broader perspective. Like, we make games, but what can we like do outside of that? Like, what other areas and forms of like art can we tap into? I think it's so cool, like having artists like, you know, Duckworth represent Echo, you know, or Kiki Palmer, you know, being like Senna. I think experimenting with other crafts and seeing how it works and it ties into the game, but also that creates opportunity for tapping into a whole new audience, and that audience being exposed to like your previous content. So people who see like or listen to and enjoy KDA, or someone who, you know, likes True Damage will then go and say, oh, I really like these characters. Oh, they're in, let me go like try playing them in League of Legends. And then that taps into a whole new player base. Riot is like, why stay at games when we could go bigger? Who would have thought making a virtual girl group with like game characters or like a hip hop like sort of fusion like pop group would work? But it does.
An important thing is just like knowing that diversity doesn't mean just one thing, and like going after diversity in all aspects, whether it's like diversifying how you get to players, diversifying what content you deliver to players. Like we made a virtual band, we made Pentakill like ages ago, and then like we're like, okay, how can we diversify music groups? We go K-pop, we make a K-pop group, and then we make like True Damage, and we do that. And it's like doing that in kind of all things. There's so many different ways that you can reach so many different players. So like, why stop at one?
Gaming While Black is powered by Doritos Solid Black Initiative. Shout out to Doritos for backing the show. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to answer some questions. I really appreciate it. I learned a lot.
Thank you so much for having us. It was super fun to get to talk about these things with other Black people.
Right? Honestly, that's a mood. Yeah.
I have one final question. When can I come tour the offices? Like, come on, it's not.
You know, there's this thing out here called Rona, you know?
Yeah.
She's working us hard.
When Miss Rona has been dealt with.
Write me down for after Rona.
You gotta take it up with Miss Rona.
Thanks for watching the skin we're in. If you didn't see part 1 on my channel, don't forget to click the link and like and subscribe.